Hello, my dear Cancer. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between August 1st and August 15, 2017, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. If you would like a personal reading with me, you can contact me at queenofcupstarot@outlook.com. You will find my email in the description box below. So I use the Legacy of the Divine Tarot, and I will start shuffle your cards. I call the Divine with love and light, and I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether. So it might be that you are doing some inner child work with an air sign, or you yourself are learning to speak more clearly, also use logic more clearly. Page of Cups and this little air child. So where were I? So I want my dear Cancer to have love in their lives, or I want a clear view reading for my dear Cancer, and I want my dear Cancer to have love in their lives, to find themselves in loving relationships, and also be able to have creative success and to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So I also want to take the chance to tell you about the full moon with a partial lunar eclipse in Aquarius. Yes, here we have Aquarius and also the Chariot in the bottom of the deck. The star is Aquarius, building a new foundation on what has been destroyed before, like the destruction of the old tower, the old way of being, and now rebuilding something new. So full moon with a partial lunar eclipse in Aquarius, and this lunar eclipse will, of course, opposing Sun, but also Mars, and both will be in Leo. We will also have a total solar eclipse in Leo on the 21st of August. The same day, we will also have a new moon in Leo, triangling Saturn moving retrograde in Sagittarius and Uranus moving retrograde in Aries. Very fiery. So especially since also Mars is in Leo, aligned with the moon on that day. So a little bit emotionally might it be for you. This is Jupiter in Capricorn. So this is about juggling your material life, like being able to live in a balanced way, even in the midst of a storm, or in a karma, or in a karmic event, or something reappearing in your life. We also have Venus will be in Cancer, but moving into Leo on the 26th, and join there with Mars. So we will have both Leo and both Mars and Venus in Leo in the end of the month. Mercury will start moving retrograde in Virgo August 14, so that might be something to worry about a little bit, especially for tarot readers. We have Cancer here and Justice in the bottom here of the deck. So 3 of Cups, that's Cancer, and Justice is Libra. So again, maybe you are working with an air sign, or you are working with becoming more logic, like using your logic not to overrun your heart, but to help and protect your heart, giving justice to yourself. So for Cancer, we have Venus moving into Cancer August 1st, triangling Neptune, that's moving retrograde in Pisces August 7 to 16. Venus will also conjunct Ceres August 12. Venus will also opposing Pluto retrograde in Capricorn August 9 till 21st, squaring Jupiter in Libra. We saw this Libra August 13 to 21. And Moon moves through August 18 till 19, very close to Venus. And also Moon and Ceres will conjunct on August 18 in the same time where Moon are moving through in your sign. Okay, so my dear Cancer, I will just tune in for a few seconds. Okay, so my dear Cancer, this will be your future, and this will be your now, and this will be your past. The past is probably July, but it might stretch over years sometimes for some of you. And this is in the now, but whenever you watch this, it's usually the right time to see it. But this now is probably the first half of August 2017. And this is the future. It might also stretch over years, but usually up to 3 months. And I'm aiming for talking about the last 2 weeks of August. But usually when we talk about the future, only destined things will be shown in the tarot cards. So other things that people are doing will not be shown, just destined stations. So sometimes this will stretch over longer period of time. Okay, so the first card, also I want to say to you that if this doesn't resonate, or even if it resonates but just to a part, you can watch the reading several times during the period, and you will as things unfold, you will get to know more about what I'm talking about here. So the first card for you, Cancer, is the Devil. The Devil is usually, it's Capricorn related. It's related to a Capricorn. It's about, we saw this Capricorn in Jupiter. We actually have Jupiter in Libra right now. But we saw this juggling, this stressful situation. And I think for you, Cancer, it's about juggling your needs. The Devil is about the needs usually that has been rejected or put in the shadow. Well, I will have to learn to live without this, kind of deciding to, I will survive without it. But here the Devil comes, so the shadows are crawling closer to you because they want to tell you something. Probably you're not living like a full life, or you haven't been able to. You might have felt that you needed to put those needs in the shadow because they weren't met. No one could meet them for you. And as water signs, of course, you're very emotional and close to your heart. So you might also have bigger needs when it comes, especially to getting getting emotional connection, like you want to connect with other people, and they might have put their feelings in the shadows and you have put your needs there of connecting. So it's so hard for you to have this connection, this emotional connection. It's your language. It's the way that you speak or communicate with other people. And if they have forgotten about this language, you have no one to connect with. So it might not be your fault that those needs that you have are in the shadow. That was what I'm trying to say, but it was all stuck in my mind. So here we have the Fool. And the Fool are talking about children. We also saw the pages came out in your reading. And it's also talking about karma, like we saw with the Two of Pentacles that was Capricorn in Jupiter. So it seems it might have been that you needed to reject those needs that you have, whatever it was. It doesn't have to just be emotional needs, very early on this journey in your life. So this is major arcana card, so this is speaking about greater amount of time, but this is probably what has relapsed and made you a little bit unstable, because you are working through an old pattern, something that you have been challenged with before, and now it's coming to challenge you again, not to hurt you again, but giving you a chance to take stand for yourself and heal you this time, and not let things go on in the old pattern, but breaking the pattern. So look at, if you are in a difficult situation here in July, if you watch early, look back in time and see how you have been handling this before, and how you would have liked to handle it. Because this when you are looking back and thinking, well, I should have done this, that's usually the answer. That's usually to answer things that you weren't, you were too afraid of the consequences maybe to do this at this time, or maybe you were too little, the full child energy. So maybe you weren't big enough, like this is just a little dog, not a big wolf. Maybe you weren't big enough to protect yourself, and now hopefully you are, if you're not very young still. The next card here is Three of Swords. So again, connecting to an old trauma, an old wound, something that has traumatized you, made you feel like you weren't protected, like someone would steal your dignity, your and break your heart. And it might have been parents or caretakers. It might also have been other, like friends when you were growing up, and also your first lovers or lovers overall. It might have been a repetitive pattern. The tree is connected to the Empress, so it's like the feminine energy being hurt. So that's, since the feminine is kind of natural resources, tangible things, it's much also connected to the devil, like the abundance, the body, things like this. So it's like you have been, your resources have been used and abused in some way. So this is very interesting, and I don't think this is something bad. It's very good. This is very good. It's about to heal you. You're about to actually heal yourself, is what I'm feeling. Yes, and here we have a Page of Swords again. So many of you will deal with a person that's very disconnected from their feelings, also due to a past hurt, how they have been hurt before. But while you might have used another approach, many people, when they get hurt, they cut off their emotions. They don't want to feel their emotion. They want to be just logical. So many of your Cancer will have this kind of person in your outside world, because you need to learn something from one another, exchanging this experience. Because what you need to do is become more logical, and what they need to do is probably to connect with their heart, to connect with this wound and going through it. Many Cancer are being splashed through their traumas every day, so you're not really... it's like Hello Darkness, My Old Friend, from this Sound of Silence song with Simon and Garfunkel, and also Disturbed. Hello Darkness, My Old Friend. This for people that's water signs. This is something, and you're really like, you're giving in to this being a water sign. You will know the darkness. You will know the darkness of your emotions, and it will be sad, but it will not be so fearful. This is because water are very poetic. It's deep connected with our emotional roots and also our traumas. But this is where the life juice kind of comes out and brings all those beautiful songs to the world, the beautiful painting, the beautiful poems. This like it's almost nostalgia, remembering your tears. Actually, water stores memory. Tears are memory. So it's not dangerous ground for you, because it's something that you know, and you have probably lived with those dark feelings your whole life. But for another person that early on disconnected from their feelings, it might even be a water sign, like it might be yourself as well. Early on disconnected from those feelings, it will be a lot of things that's not worked through, and also it's so scary for this person to connect with their feelings, to even think about the tears. So they are like, no, don't watch, don't look, don't go that way. So they are very fearful of this, because they don't know the darkness. But in the darkness, we are hiding a lot of our most beautiful stuff, our beautiful creation, our beautiful strength, our beautiful emotions, our beautiful needs, that kind of shines the light to where our soul wants to go, and also our talents. When we stuff ourselves in the darkness. We create a shadow because someone told us that this personal trait wasn't lovable, or you noticed that if you gave all your heart, you were stomped on, or your heart were stomped on. So you decided to put things in the shadow. But when you did, you also put valuable things there, not only this what you wanted to hide, but also it's part of your soul. It's part of your soul energy. So you haven't got access to the whole of you. You have been getting access to just small parts of you. So this with the inner child work and healing the wound, it's actually going in here. When you bring light into the shadow will start to disappear. You can't bring shadow into clear sunlight, for example, or clear lamplight. It will disappear. It will be shadowy around where the light can't reach, or when something is being shadowing. But when you can't bring darkness into the light, into the clear light. So attention is the answer. The attention to seek, both traveling with your thoughts down to your shadowy realms, like what awful thoughts do you have? Write them down. What scary thoughts do you have? Write them down. Write everything down. So you will give it attention, because that's healing. And it's also like listening. It's like when you give attention to a child that's hurt, because this child is going to show off like very cold and distant, and like, I don't need anybody. I will take care of myself, like an orphan child. And when you start to you need to build trust with this child first. So just listen to it. Just listen to it, even if it's angry, even if it's hurt, even if it's really messed up, just listen to it. Even if it screams to you, just listen to it. Give it attention. Say, okay, so this is how you see it. Okay, what I heard you say was this. You might need to do it with people in your surrounding that's this hurt, or with yourself. So when you start to listen, you give trust. You will show that person that you can trust me. I will give you this attention. I won't listen and then forget about you or betray you. So this is the first part with retrieving lost soul parts. We have judgment here. So this is, for most of you, this will be in the past. So this is something that you have already accomplished. You have started to take up new soul parts. Probably your logic side that you didn't really listen to before. Maybe you were afraid of the consequences. Maybe you were afraid to be like this orphan child. Like, okay, so I will leave all of you because you are treating me rotten. So I will go for myself until I find someone that's worthy of my attention. That's worthy of me telling them who I am. So this might be what you have arisen within you. Often due to seeing another person on the outside doing these things, and then you can do the same. So you might have been hurt, really hurt by this person that's on the outside, but they taught you some useful skills that you now can use to retrieve your lost soul parts, or parts of you that has been in darkness, or being even like dead. It's like people with multiple personality disorder, they have this, but much more obvious. The trauma was much more obvious, and the split personality was much more obvious. But we all have this. If we have lived a couple of lives on earth, we all have this shadow, the things that we were too hard to see, or parts of us that couldn't get their needs met, and therefore they kind of had to die or being put on hold like vampires in a cave. And now they are waking up, and they are going to have those needs, and it's up to you to see to that those needs are met. You can't fail them again. So you need to promise your lost soul parts returning that, okay, from now on I will be strong for you. I will give you justice. I won't let anyone hurt you anymore. I will rather step away than letting anyone hurt you. So getting a very clear judgment, waking up from illusions, not selling yourself short, things like this. For those of you wondering about this person in your life that have put a lot of stress on you, so you actually were triggered to do this journey, they are doing the same journey as you. So they are working on the same thing, but probably they are arising more their ability to feel their emotions. So they might have a tougher time because they don't know the darkness like you do. So here we have an Ace of Coins. It's very suitable for the Ace of Coins to come underneath the Devil, because this is the needs that has been kind of rejected, and this is you starting on square one, deciding that, okay, I will make a list with all my needs, and I will start to see to that they are met. And it might not be like, I need $1 million. If you want that, it's okay. You can work with law of attraction and create $1 million if you think that that's going to make you happy. But it's usually more other things, like having a great social network or friends to turn to, simple things. But it might be whatever. Maybe you want a better place to live, or something tangible. It can be something tangible as well. It doesn't have to be friendship and things that making you feel safe, but it can be also other things that makes you feel safe. A roof over your head, a good work, a monthly salary, or income in some way. So this is, it's like square one. It's like you starting to find out what it is that you actually need, because you need to do this so you can make those soul parts that you finally gained back to stay with you. So they have a list. Find out what that list is. And here you have a Nine of Wands. So Nine of Wands is the war isn't over. You are going to have to fight and put boundaries yet again. It's very revolutionary energy, putting up those boundaries and fighting for your right to be yourself and not letting people step all over your boundaries. We see that this person is kneeling, but at least they don't lie flat on the ground, and they still have some fighting spirit. So it's like you're asking, how much longer will I have to do this? Because Cancer isn't really warrior energy. But when Cancer are being victimized, they need to wake up the inner warrior, because you need to respect yourself as much as you respect others. And the best way to do this is put up boundaries and not be like this water that just splashes back and forth, and not having those boundaries. Because if you are opposed with people that kind of wants to steal this beautiful jewelry that is your emotions, because it's very full of energy, it's like your soul, it's very blissful to have this energy. And if they want to steal it and you just give it away for free, like being a doormat with your face down in the carpet, that's not a good thing. That will leave you in a hospital or with poor health, or being depressed or whatever, because your energy level will be so low. And now you have actually regained energy by retrieving all soul parts. So now you need to fight for them so they will stay with you, and you will keep your energy, not give it away for free to people acting stupid. So this is like the Hermit 9. So it's like you are stepping away a little bit from society, deciding to be a little bit alone, and start to ponder, how do I really want my life from now on? What am I going to invite and what I'm going to say no to? So it's a little bit sorting and still being on the war path, not because you want to, but because you need to, you are called to do this. And here we have the Tower, so it comes underneath the Three of Swords. So any person that has been over logical and not being in connection with their emotions, and put themselves on top and kind of stealing energy from others, being on top and just throwing things down on others. You know, this with authority and with this pyramid of people being on top and lower grades of people being lower down. But this is, the Tower is when people fall from their high horses, you can say, and need to land flat on the ground and do a reality check. So I think that many of your Cancer will be teachers to people that aren't connected to their emotions, or you are going to be taught how to be more logical. Or if you are a Cancer, disconnected from your emotions, you will be the one that needs to get in contact. And this, with the Tower, it can be from small whispers, the Tower. It can be like, well, someone saying some stupid shit to you at work, for example, and you would let it pass by, and it's nothing more to it. But then 3 more people the next month are starting to say stupid things towards you, and you let it slide. And then it will be more events happening. And finally, it will come when you're pushed by the Tower, and eventually from being small whisperings, it will be like a blow to the head, and you will need to say no. You will need to put up boundaries, or even maybe those people on your workplace that doing this, it's just an example. It might be your family, friends, life situations overall, like every time you drive the car to a certain place, it will break down, or all your, it's so many different scenarios I'm seeing here, but whatever. So it means that it will go from small whisperings to big blows to the head. So you will either stand up for yourself, or do something that you're called to do, connect with your emotion, connect with your logic side, wake up from illusions. Or it might be that you need to face some old fear, something you weren't able to face before, and just do it. Change location, quit your job, say no to that troublesome lover, because you have the devil here. Might be people with addictions, or using and abusing as well. But this is just, they are just showing you how you treat yourself. So if you have troublesome people in the outside, you need to learn from them. They are keeping up a mirror, how you are letting other persons treat you, because you think that this is what you are worth. So the Tower is a great help from the divine. You have many major arcana cards here, so big things are happening in your life. So it's a help from the divine to see something in very clear light, and destroying the old so you can build a new. Because you need to sacrifice things before you can have a new beginning, because this energy, it's eternal, but it's not in great abundance, because you have only this jewelry, this soul of yours, and you can use this to manifest whatever you want if you don't waste your energy on stupid things or stupid people. The Tower here is come very central, so it wants you to really see something and do something that you haven't been able to do before. And it's about boundaries, because we see this is a 4, so it's square. You see 4 pillars, and this is boundaries. So either you have been putting with the 9 of Wands, sometimes we can create what we are most fearing because we are so suspicious. So I want you to be a little bit suspicious if you have always been very naive and believing. But if you always have been very suspicious, this needs to end. You need to start to become more like the Fool, more open-hearted, more naive, more brave, like those people having their heart on their sleeve, this kind of brave. So it will be different for different people, because we are yin and yang, we are going down like opposites, and it's not saying what you will go down as, like if you will go down as the perpetrator or as the victim, or if you go down like the logic person or the very emotional person. That will be you're just one half of something that's whole. That's a part of the game here in our world, in our manifested world, because we need contrast to be able to see ourselves. So here's a new start, and we see this. It's almost I almost feel like you are like doing this and shaking the ground and tearing down the tower. So it might be for many of you, you have done some kind of revolution against authority as a little child in your child entity, and now you are kind of doing this and shaking the tower of authority. It's like you're becoming your own authority here. You decide, you listen to yourself, you go wherever your soul wants to take you. So Ace of Wands is like holding a magnifying glass for the rays of the sun, and we can see it's a volcano here. And here is old volcanic ground. So this with the darkness and distraction. I think you are very familiar with this. And here you are like the little person that's shaking the big system. And here you have an 8 of coins coming very beautifully after this big, like, it's bravery here. Bravery to face your own fears, your own limitations, but also to challenge other people's fears and other people's limitations. If they don't dare to open up to you or talk with you, you are not going to be like holding them like this anymore, like just taking in consideration, oh, they don't want to talk about that, so I can't go on to that subject. Because many of you Cancer might have been very careful with other people, very empathic. So there's areas where you didn't go and you left them in the shadow. You didn't really push people into being truthful with their communication towards you. And now I think you're pushing them because you want something that's real. You want personal growth that's real. You want someone to connect with you and do the work together with you. And you're giving up kind of your will to the divine. So I think it's very beautiful, this what you are doing, and you're very brave. And it's hard to be a warrior when you are full of empathy, but you are doing this because you're protecting your inner child here, the Fool, Page of Swords, that's so hurt. This person that needs to become more logic, have a clear judgment, and you're following your clear judgment, but with fire. So that's very passionate. You're becoming the fiery warrior here, and it's not a warrior that will so much destroy things of value. It's like you will destroy things that have kept people shackled in chains. So it will be helpful both towards you and towards others. You will destroy walls with your not putting up with being a victim anymore, not giving yourself away for free anymore. This is a great work. This is why you finally are doing this thing. This is an 8 eternity symbol. So this what has been repetitive in your life. You are finding out a new way to deal with this. So you're trying something new, and that's good. If you do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, that won't work. You can't expect miracles to happen. You need to make the miracles yourself. You need to not be a victim. Give justice to yourself. Have clear judgment. Don't just believe in like things will come to me automatically. Yes, they did when you were in a very blessed state before you went down here. But on earth, there's other things. What you think of yourself on the inside is what's going to be mirrored to you on the outside. So the more you can love yourself and nurture yourself and put boundaries and see to that you get your needs met, the better your circumstances, outside circumstances will be. But I think for a person that's like this, outside circumstances might mean not so much, because you are becoming so strong, so in touch with your inner darkness, being able to deal with whatever comes along, whatever challenge comes along, because you're so strong right now. So you say, okay, destroy whatever needs to be destroyed. I want a new beginning. Destroy whatever. I will do whatever the divine wants me to do. So I will solve this time. So very brave, like a very shamanistic warrior, kind of. Okay. So that was in the now, probably the first half of August 2017, and this is in the future. So here we have the 5 of coins. This is the original feeling, that this is what hurt you from the first time. This not getting your needs met, standing outside the door, being a beggar. So we have this part of the equation as well. You're not only like shaking down other people's boundaries, you're still outside there feeling the same way you have always felt, like, why on earth are they not connecting with me? What's wrong with me? Why am I not lovable? And you can't take a world that's a little bit insane personally, okay? There's so many wounded people out there, and we are here to help ourselves to heal, to help other people to heal, and help ourselves to heal. So when you find a partner or a workplace or something that's very safe, for some of you that won't do. That won't do if things are perfect, because you are not here to live perfection. You are here to live with challenges and to grow. This is what Earth is, a growing place, a place where you grow by being challenged. So you are going to seek up those people that are not going to be able to meet your needs because they are wounded and you are wounded, and you want to kind of play car accident over and over again until it doesn't feel so dangerous anymore to be left out in the cold. You will be like, well, I don't take this personally. This is about this person. It's about this boss. It's about this partner. They are not able to give me what I need. It doesn't mean that I don't deserve it. So you need to come to this conclusion to see that it's not personal. It's not about you, but it's a lot about how you're thinking about yourself or acting towards yourself. If you're feeling like a beggar, if you don't have self-confidence or aligning with yourself, you need to start to like yourself and love yourself. You are one of divine's great creatures being born here on earth. You are perfect the way you are. You just need to find out who that is, like go deeper and deeper inside, and what you will find is your soul. And your soul is shining the light of attention, of love towards you. So you always have connection to unconditional love in your source. So if you would start to align with yourself and love yourself, you will be able to give yourself this love. It's hopeless for the soul to come down in a body that's a tight knot and that doesn't think that it's lovable because of outside circumstances kind of proving this. Well, I have never been able to. Well, that's just a mirror of what's going on inside of you. Because if you were traumatized as a child, for example, this trauma will shine. It's like a film that will shine outside in your life, and it will repeat again and again until you break the pattern. And it's only you that can do this, and it's about your self-love. It's about putting yourself first and not taking this world so personally. Just starting to connect with your soul, connect with your inner being. Start mindfulness practices is very good for this kind of energy. Very good. And here we have the Hangman as well, and coming underneath the Fool and this war. So it seems like the war is going to go on. You are going to be challenged again with the same kind of battle. Again, it's like you need to prove yourself again. You have collected some of your soul parts. You are very tired but decisive. And now you're going to need to prove yourself worthy of having this soul part that you received. So you're going to be challenged again. You are going to be like in the same way that you were before. And you're going to need to show that you are willing to sacrifice whatever you have gained. For example, if you had a bad relationship and you find someone new, you want to keep that person because finally I've got this, what I needed. So you want to keep this, the Ace of Coins. But this person is unreachable. They are disconnected from their feelings. So you will feel like a beggar outside in the snow, and you can't connect again with this person. And then you need to do this sacrifice for the sake of your child, your inner being. You need to be strong, okay? So the war isn't over for cancer. You need to continue what you have been doing and proving yourself. Being able to sacrifice whatever is not fulfilling your needs, really. okay? Looking yourself in the mirror also while this is happening. It's like an initiation. It's going to make you, it's going to put you on the next level. We have the 12 here, next are 13, death. So this is like dying, and then death will come, and then 14, the alchemist card, finally learning something new, because you changed, because you let go of some fear. You weren't fearful of it anymore. You won't be fearful of being rejected anymore. You will just think, well, that person was unable to love me. They are so closed off, they can't connect. So that's sad for them, not for me. And you just move on with your life. So that's just one example, but that's the most clearest thing that came through. So here we have the Emperor, and the Emperor of Authority lives in this tower. This is something that has been unreachable for you. So it might be father energy that's difficult for you, the masculine energy, to be seen by an authority. Maybe your father was working too much, or didn't look you in the eye, didn't pay you attention, thought that you were like not aware enough to even speak to or acknowledge. So for some of you it will be like this, and you see it's the eagle symbol out there. So this is someone having a bird's eye perspective. They have like their ducks in the row. They have their boundaries clear, but they have saved themselves, and they forgot to save everyone else. They just did this journey on their own, and they made themselves safe up in the tower and left everyone down here suffering. So that's why the tower needs to be shaken down to its ground, because you are not supposed to disconnect. You are supposed to have this connection. The Emperor is connected to Death card as well. 13, 1 plus 3 is Forward Emperor. It's also connected to the Fool card, because 22 is also the Fool's number when you're working with numerology. I don't know the name exactly, but I think numbers, working with numbers, symbols of numbers anyway. 22. So both 22, the Fool, and 13, Death, is connected to the Emperor. Being very naive and trusting, having a lot of boundaries, living in a very like unchangeable routine, like the Emperor being very firm, and Death, total change and destruction, like civilization rising and falling. And here you have the tower, so that's the fall of civilization. So something like an authority figure, or something that has been like very crucial to you, as almost like a mammon that you have been worshipping. You wanted, maybe for girls it might be, for those straight girls it might be that you have wanted always like a masculine person in your life, making you feel safe, making you feel loved. And what you need to do now is to actually tear down this pillar of authority in your life and giving this love to yourself. It sounds boring, but this is the way to go. And mindfulness practices, again, stay in your inside, feel your inside, put up the red carpet to your inside, attention, attention, attention. Because this attention is the father energy. It's the light, the rays from the sun. So you are going to give this to yourself and become very rock solid. Become very, a person with very firm boundaries. So this is like giving this, it's like giving this secret of the tower to the people, and you are doing it. Because first you tried with this connection thingy, like you wanted it, but when you were surrounded by warriors or people disconnecting, you weren't able to come through with this. So what you need to do is to have boundaries instead. It's like you weren't able to put up walls on your own, so you're still in someone else's castle. Good for you, Cancer. This is exactly what we need. And here you have 10 of Wands. So 10 of Wands are coming underneath the Page of Swords and the Ace of Wands. So it comes from 1 to 10. So it's the full scale, like Alpha and Omega. So this is the way of the warrior. This is the way of the hero. And we see now that the hero is crawling on its belly. It's no longer standing on its knees. So it's crawling on its belly. And it's coming underneath the little Page of Swords. So it's both indicating, it's indicating that kind of both sides of this war is going to be very tired, very exhausted, disconnecting maybe from speaking to one another. For some of you, it will be like a twin flame or a soulmate relationship that have broken down because you couldn't stand being a victim anymore. And for some of you, it has been like other things being sacrificed, like work or family issues. But it's anyway like a disconnection between people, and you needed to unplug. You needed to disconnect, because when you were emotional and when you gave it all, people stole things from you. You were exhausted. This is also what it means. But now you're using your last fumes to fight this battle. And for those of you that has the other kind of problem, like being over logical, disconnected from your feelings, this is your soul pushing through. This is your soul pushing through, throwing you to the ground, so you will cave before your own soul, before the longing, before the needs, before what you want. So even if you have been forced to disconnect from authority or something that you wanted, some masculine energy. For masculine people, it might be like a feminine authority. Someone telling you always what to do, kind of this energy. So you have disconnected from it, and you really feel disconnected, and you feel this burden of not having the connection. But it's like you need to do it anyway, okay? It's like you need to do it anyway. It's almost like this exhaustion war, like when you are exhausting your enemy out of resources. Maybe it's a siege. Maybe it's a siege. So you are waiting for the other person to cave. If it's a problem with that person that has problem to open up and communicate needs to cave. Okay, share also. If you have been the person that has been in the place of authority, needs to come down to the others and start sharing. So I just see this going on. You have the Two of Swords here again. It's Libra, and you have Judgment above. But it's very supportive, because it's telling, don't give up. Don't give up. It's like you have forces that's working with you. The Two of Swords is usually how we behave on Earth. We don't want to cause conflict, so we don't say what we mean. We just have a mask and keep our blindfolds on. And this is what you are challenging, and this is what you need to break down, either in yourself or with other people. So the war isn't over for Cancer. It will go on. And the silent treatment, if you are acting with silent treatment towards some person that didn't open up to you, you are granted to continue to do so, okay? But if you have been holding back on your emotions, holding back with your loving words, holding back with giving things to other people that were in need, you are going to have to open up, because the pressure is on you, okay? So I now use the Mary L Tarot to give answers from the past. So we'll see. Okay, it's the Three of Swords coming out again. The Three of Swords that we have here. So it's a healing of an old wound. So it's time. You can't give up this time. It just need to be healed. And it's a peace dove. So you that has been emotional and open, you will be able to be emotional and open again as soon as the war is over. As soon as the enemy is caving and opening up to you, you will be there like a peace dove. Okay? So you don't have to feel like you're doing the wrong thing. You are just... it's like you're being like a rainbow warrior here. okay? And this is your future visions. It's from the Oracle of Vision by Cyril Marchetti. And it's again the same thing. So it's kind of promising that there will be peace in the future, but not now. So you need to have stamina, Cancer. You need to have stamina to withstand this time where there's no connection or things are not moving forward, because you're in a siege. But whenever the enemy caves, you will be loving again and nurturing again, okay? So you will have your freedom to be yourself again. You are not going to have to fight for the rest of your life. It's just for now. Okay, so that was a clear message for a lot of your Cancer, but for some of you it won't be resonating, of course. But I hope for the big majority will know what I'm talking about here. Okay, my dear Cancer, so take really good care, and I hope to see you again in the middle of August. Okay, bye-bye.